Good morning, folks. Ron Bishop here again. Oh, a bit chilly here in Timaru this morning. Ah, boy. Well, I went to Full Gospel last night. First time I've been to the Full Gospel meeting for many, many years. I used to go all the time once when I first became a Christian. Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship, it's called. And I went along, and I'm sitting there. There was an American there, a fellow from America, and he started telling his life story, you see, because it's a place where men go along, businessmen go along, and they share their life stories. And this guy, who apparently was a preacher's kid, you see, he brought up in the church and all that sort of stuff. And he's talking away there, and I'm looking around the audience, and the majority of the people in the audience were women, you see. And I thought, this is not right. I'm at the wrong place. The sign said, Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship. And he started telling me about he's telling us about all the people he'd saved, all the people that have become Christians, thousands of people becoming Christians all around the world and blah, blah, blah. I heard it all before. And I couldn't understand, and he talked about, he went to a meeting once and they all had ties on, ties and white shirt. And I'm thinking, yeah, how many people are sitting in the room here with a tie and a white shirt? Not very many. So anyway, I'd had enough. I was ready to go home. I was just going to get up and walk out. But I took Jesus with me, because he's in my heart, you see, and he said, no, Ron, don't you just walk out. You stand up and challenge the guy. So I stood up. I said, excuse me, sir, do you mind if I ask you a question? Because I think I'm in the wrong room. I think I've come to the wrong meeting. The sign up there says, Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship. Now, businessmen, how many businessmen are in the room today? And one guy put his hand up, and he was the guy with the tie on that was running the show. Only one person, plus me, were business people. All the rest weren't business people. They weren't businessmen, and most of them were women. So whatever he was preaching wasn't working. And I challenged him. And I told him that Jesus sent me in here tonight because there's a fella out there who wanted to shoot me. Well, I didn't know he wanted to shoot me, but I said, there's a guy out there who's mentally ill. He needs help. And I've come along here. Jesus has brought me in here to see if I can get some help. And I started taking control of the meeting. I was sharing my testimony, telling people why I left the church. Because I went to church for 25 years by myself, you know. My wife didn't come with me. And I finished up, I left the church because I wanted to share my testimony. I wanted to tell the world about all the stuff that my life, you see. How I shot my brother and all stuff like that. But none of them, they wouldn't let me. The church would never let me. They would never let me speak. So I left. And the last time I went back, I told them, so the last time I went back, I thought I'd pop in one day to go to church, and they put the money, the man came down with the money, you know, collecting the money, and I said, I'm sorry, I've got no money, I've only got an FPOS card. And the preacher's wife was sitting alongside me, and she said, well, that's all right, Ron, we've got an FPOS machine here, you can pay on the way out. Oh, they're dags. This is the same church. I left because I was sitting there wondering what the hell God was having me do. I was sitting there doing nothing, going there every week by myself, and I thought I'd find out why they want me here. They wouldn't let me get up and preach. So one day I purposely never put any money in the envelope. You see, I put my envelope in. You put money in an envelope and you give it so no one knows how much you're given, you see. You got a number. So I put the no money in the envelope on purpose. And the next day, Next time the lady said, "Oh, Ron, you forgot to put any money in your envelope last week." I was there for the money. They didn't want me to help me. They didn't want to help the world. They just wanted the money. Yeah, good people though, Christians. Look, there's some wonderful Christians about. But there are some that are there for the wrong reason. They're there for the wrong reason. And I could tell you a lot about Christianity. A lot about Christianity. Of 25 years, I think it was about 25 years, I went to church by myself. And in the finish, I got up and walked and went to all the religions. I wanted to know why there were so many religions and so many different churches and one thing and another. And I went to them all. Catholics, Presbyterians, Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. I went to all the churches because I wanted to get an overview of what they were all preaching. And I remember going to one church, a Pentecostal church, and someone got up and said, we raised $7,000 to send Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so overseas on a missionary to I think it was India, to visit the poorest people in the world. And thank you all for making a contribution. We raised $7,000 to send these people overseas to save the poor people. And they showed us photos of all the poorest people in the world, the little black people, you see. And I noticed something in the video. They were showing the video clips. They were all smiling. They were the poorest people in the world, and they were all laughing, all happy as go. They didn't know they were poor. And here we have in New Zealand, people sending people overseas on missionaries, and we've got people running around Timaru, half mental, people, kids starving, all that. No one's converting them to Christianity. It all goes overseas. And when this full gospel businessman's outfit, they don't have local people sharing their testimony. They bring in people from bloody America. I told them I was going to have a meeting of my own and get my own crowd in and I'd share my testimony. I tried to do that once out of Geraldine. Geraldine's got a little place called Harare. There's a little church there, old church. And I was going out there for a while and I built up a relationship with some of the local people because I was promoting them, you see, on my website, taking videos of them and promoting the little township of Harare. And I thought, this little church, nobody used it. I thought, well, I'll send out invitations to each of these, the local people, and I'll share my testimony in this little old church, you see. So I said to the man in charge, the preacher from Geraldine, that what I wanted to do, I wanted to hire the church for a Sunday, so I could have all these people come along. And he said, Ron, you're not in my flock. You're not part of Geraldine. You're Timaru. We can't let you do that. You see, and they wonder why the churches are not growing. Oh, they're funny. Now listen, I gotta go. I'll tell you some more about religion later on. I'll put this one up. And I'm going to try and find that poor man, Max, Mad Max. I call him Mad Max. He needs help. Because he did ring me up and said that he had bipolar disorder, you see. And I said to him, are you on a high or a low at the moment? And he said, I'm on a low. And I said, oh, well, where are you going to sleep tonight? He said, I'm sleeping at the bus station because you wouldn't come down and pick me up, and I'm going to be sleeping at the bus station. And I said, well, what have you spent any money? Have you got any money? Because he wanted to give me $1,000. He said, I lost $1,400 at the casino in Christchurch. And I said, well, where did you get the $1,400 from? He said, oh, well, I manufacture meths or methafine or whatever it is. I make it. I don't sell it. I'm a manufacturer of it. And it was then I realised that we had a man on the phone that was mentally ill and needed some help, because he said he had bipolar disorder and all that sort of stuff. So I rang the police, and they said just stay away from him and ignore him. So I'll pop out and have a look, see if I can find him today. Max, if you're listening to this, don't be so stupid, man. If you want help, go and get some help. Okay. You go to I'll see you after you've been to the authorities. There's proper places you can go. Don't come harassing me and my wife, okay? And my little kitten. Don't come harassing us. Go and get some help, Max. Okay? And once you've got some help, get the organisation to ring me and I'll come and talk to you. And we'll have a couple of beers or whatever, and we'll talk about life, okay? And I'll help you. Okay? But don't go harassing me. Don't go ringing me up and telling me all this rubbish. Okay? You need some help. Get some help. Once you got the help, then get the organisation to ring me and we'll have a yard of it. Good on you, Max. Look after yourself, mate. See ya. Bye-bye.